Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this day and for Thy presence in our lives. And Father, we ask for Thy comfort and healing to those people, not only here, but everywhere, that are displaced in their lives by the floodwaters. We ask that You show them compassion and help make their lives whole again. Father, we realize that You know our capabilities, our strengths, and our weaknesses. But we ask for Thy strength and guidance in understanding the needs of our community, and that we might put these needs at the forefront of our thoughts. We are thankful for Your Son, Jesus Christ, and it's His name that we pray these things. Amen.
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 All the council has two special council meeting minutes and regular minutes. If there's no corrections or additions,
I don't have the special meeting minutes. I don't know how I missed it. It wasn't in my book. Okay. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't think I got them either.
I'm sorry, I don't have them.
Nobody got them?
No special meeting minutes. I have the regular council meeting minutes, and I do have one correction.
I put them in the office. I could be wrong.
Surely not.
okay, which ones do you have?
The regular, meeting.
Just the regular council meeting,
That,
Okay,
13th.
Yeah, I don't have
we'll
a
hold
special one either.
specials until everybody's got a copy of them. If you got the regular council meeting, there's no additions or
I-
corrections.
I do have one correction,
Okay,
and that is that it did not, I'm trying to find exactly, oh, here it was. Mr. Neener would like to recommend that the appointments be made available to them before they are made. I'd like for the record to reflect that Tom agreed to do that and was going to give us 1 week.
no, I said I'd get them to you as soon as I could.
No, I listened to the audio when I saw this error, and that's not what you said.
Okay, whatever. If that's the only correction, we'll go on. Old business, council meeting agenda. We never did decide what we were gonna do with that, part at the bottom of the agenda, on Sunshine Law, the number 12. There'll be a closed session for executive session pursuant to section 60.
I'll make a motion that we remove that item 12 from our normal meeting agendas.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
you're just gonna take 12 off and that's it?
Yeah.
That's how we'll- Okay, I'll go get it.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Poland?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes. Okay, we now open to council.
Ex-
Anybody?
Actually, I believe we have one other piece of old business. It wasn't on the agenda, but I didn't get the agenda until today. And that was, we had mentioned at our last meeting that the digital communication business practices we would discuss under old business today. So if you don't mind addressing that issue, I can summarize very quickly, but, and I'll start with Larry's recommendation that all council people have a number in the phone book, because that was part of the conversation, and I do not. I just have my mobile phone. That's the only phone I have. But in an effort to reach out and say, look, I really do want to include everyone, digital and not, I went ahead and made arrangements, and on Thursday I'll have a 573 number here that'll be in the phone book. So I have no problem with requiring or asking that city councilmen have a number in a phone book. I would like to also have all council persons have an email address. If you don't have a computer or don't want to deal with that, they can be routed so they just wind up in your mailbox.
That'd be fine.
But that way-
On the mail, on the phone though?
Hmm?
Can I make a little statement
Sure.
on the phone? Okay, if you want me, you're gonna have to look for Dust.
Right.
Nobody knows me as Dust, but that's what's in the book.
I was saying with Sunny.
So
Yeah. Mine's not listed as Sunny.
Yeah,
But we can put it on the website if you don't mind sharing a phone number. We can put your phone number right there on the website so everybody knows how to get a hold of you. But I'd like to include emails. Is that, I don't know if we need a motion or if it's just by general agreement that we would set something up like that. How would you like to proceed?
I think that'd be the choice of the council, whether they want their email on the web or not.
Okay.
So that's up, I'd say that that's personal choice.
Well, I guess what I'm suggesting is that we establish a public protocol so that it's not, I don't want to put up Chuck's private email if he doesn't want to put that up. What I'd like is for people in the community to be able to email their council members and either it be routed to Chuck or wind up in his box so that we can take advantage of a communication stream that's standard business practice in 2013. And I can easily provide everyone here with an account just for that, or the city can do it by whatever means they want to do it. Do we have a, I don't know, I guess in lieu of another way to do it, I'll make a motion that
Make a motion, yeah.
that we establish 8 city council addresses and either by councilman's preference, route them straight to the councilman or to whoever the administration would like to designate in order to print them and put them in the boxes.
Second.
Motion made and second.
Okay, a little discussion, what are you gonna do about me now?
You'll have Monroe Elliott at louisianamo.com, and when someone sends something to that email address, it'll go to whoever Tom designates, and they will print it and put it in your box, so you'll get it just as if they sent an email, a letter by post.
Send it to me, that's fine.
Yeah,
And
same.
Send it to the city hall one.
same thing, but I also would like it in my box.
Okay.
I'd like to have mine in my mail slot.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Motion
Seconded.
made and second.
Who seconded?
I did, or
Was
Chuck,
simultaneous.
call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
yes,
Mr. Wood?
No, because ours goes to our store. I don't want stuff
This would
coming
be,
in and out of our store.
right, this would be a separate email address that could go straight to your box in upstairs.
upstairs.
Oh.
You wouldn't have to touch your store. Does that change your vote? Okay.
Okay. Motion carried.
And the second part of the digital communication business practices that I brought up last time for discussion was to put on our website the approved council minutes and the approved committee minutes, and then we discuss the email and phone numbers. But the approved council minutes and approved committee minutes, I would like to get posted on our website. So anybody can go
That's a lot
and,
of work for Sharon.
are they not already in digital form?
Well, I mean, they're in Word. but-
Right, so all the work for Sharon would be to forward those to me, and then I can post them.
Well, I think all those become public records.
Yeah, yes, they do, and
So
I,
if you have a city email address, a constituent sends something, their communication and the reply, you have to file a copy with Sharon because those are all
sure, you're talking about the emails, or are you talking about council
emails,
minutes?
Because the emails to
Yes.
and fro, because that was one of the big flare-ups in the Blunt administration is that some people said, well, I don't really want to share all these emails. I said, well,
Sure.
sorry, they're public records.
I think that's a good reason to have a
I do
public
too.
email address,
I do too.
which is part of what I'm hoping to address here, that those are segregated from private use. But that, the other issue is on the website, I'd like to get the council and committee minutes posted so our citizens can refer to our minutes if they would like to. It would require that Sharon email me those Word documents.
Well, you're talking like everybody in town's got a computer,
Okay,
and they don't.
and anyone who doesn't is welcome to come here and request them, but this seems like a very low-cost way to make them publicly available to most people. Anyone can get to the library and use the computer for free. There is a lot of computer access if someone's interested in pursuing it that way. If someone would prefer to come down and talk to the city. We're not restricting the access to this information. We're increasing access to this information, in particularly to a lower, a younger, not lower, a younger demographic of people that feel rather disenfranchised.
I think it's just catering to both sides.
I want to do both.
And that's exactly right. There's no reason we shouldn't unless it's gonna cause serious time management issues for Sharon, which we don't want. But for me personally, as a citizen, I would prefer it. Busy kids, that kind of thing. I do a lot of email, so it's just an added aspect, I think, is all it is. I think we're kind of creating it to be too much.
Could we ask Sharon what she,
Yes.
have you got time to do?
Do you need more work, Sharon?
I don't want any more work, but, if that, I'll go, whatever the council wants.
But then Christina could email her committee meetings to Bart, and then you could just do the council. True?
That still adds work to them.
Mhm.
But it's bringing us
And email.
necessarily into a different, I mean, we really need to step up from a communication standpoint to stay ahead of the game, I think.
And nothing changed. Whatever Sharon puts out, it stays the same. No corrections or nothing.
Right, these would be
So,
approved,
These
Yeah,
are approved
right.
minutes.
just the approved ones, not the drafts,
Right.
the approved
Yeah.
minutes.
So they would be a month behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah. They would be a month in
I
lag.
think it would be a way to get the community involved, like he said, the younger community more involved in the political side of what's going on. I think it's important.
Make your motion.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're voting.
There's been no
Oh,
motion.
okay. You know, it looks like they could come to a meeting if they're really that interested.
Yes, or they could come down and they could do other things, but this would increase the ability to access it. Why would we, let me inverse it. Why would we not want to make this kind of a document as available as possible if all it requires is to send one email in a month to get it done? Why would we not want to make it available?
And always be put in our mailbox.
No, these are already put in your mailbox. These would just go on the website.
After we approve.
We're not talking about the emails, we're talking about putting the minutes
Posting the minutes.
on the website.
The only problem is if you want the signed ones posted on the website, that could be a problem.
The signed ones? No, I don't think we need signed ones. I think we just want to be able to make the information out there about
Unless that's
what's
illegal.
happened.
That's not a legal issue.
I think we can
Yes,
put draft
all
ones.
ordinance, or all minutes have to be signed.
I mean, to post it, would that be an issue to
No,
post it legally, not signing it?
And Rap can check into that. And we can
He's
come back
shaking his head
with
no.
a decision.
What would be the difference of signed and unsigned, Sharon?
Well,
It
with the
doesn't matter.
signed ones, it's hard to, I mean, I would have it digitally signed.
she already has a Word document, right? All she has to do is email that to
And
me.
attach it.
No,
Once a
I'm
month.
just curious
Right.
why she couldn't give us one that was signed.
She'd have to scan it in.
And sometimes the scanner doesn't. I've scanned documents in today, and
You
it
can
didn't
type
scan, so
this, but you can't type Tom.
I can't put his signature on it.
That's right. Okay, I understand.
So I'll make a motion that we, as a matter of routine, put the minutes for the regular, for all council meetings that are not closed on the web
And the committee?
and the committees.
A second.
Discussion, was we gonna see if that was legal, but the unsigned
He
thing?
said,
He said it
As
was.
long as the original, the main minute that I assume you keep in some book, and here's the minutes, and these are the ones that signed. There might be 10,000 other copies that are not signed, but the one that controls is the one that's signed, that she's the custodian of.
Those are
So she's
digitally
putting
computed.
an electronic version of that file on the World Wide Web. That's not the official one, but everybody would understand that.
yeah,
And you could do
we could
that.
put a disclaimer on it.
Well, you would have to, is that what I'm
Okay.
doing? Okay, I'm ready.
Call the roll.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neely?
Yes.
Mr. Collis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Right now, we open the meeting up to anybody that'd like to address the council, any visitors that would like to address the council, may do so now. Yes.
So I would like to try to request for a street fundraiser for Leo for this year. And I think it's, one thing is open is December. And we'd like to try to get it for that first weekend of that month.
Okay. Sure. Leo.
In December?
December.
That's all
December,
left.
January, February, and
Yeah, she said
December, I think are the only months open.
that's for next year, isn't it? January,
For
February,
any
March?
time, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna request maybe also for March of next year to go ahead and get on the agenda for that.
The first weekend in December, is that what you said?
Yes.
I'd say the requesting for this year would be all right, but let's hold, next year.
Okay. How would I, since everybody else has already got their names in for next year, how would I take them off?
Everybody got theirs in for next year?
It's done by ordinance. You know, they're
Has to be
set
put
by
on
ordinance who has what. The only, trying to find it. The only thing that I had was I talked to Lois because I thought I had read in the paper that Leo was no longer,
That was our
Doing
food pantry
business.
only.
so that's just the food thing.
Right.
But January, February, March, and December are the only months open.
I make a motion to give Leo the first weekend in December for their fundraiser.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman? Yes. Mr. Needham?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes,
Mr. Wood?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Then I come back in January for March.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to address council? If not, we'll go to reading, hearing, and petitions. I have a statement I'd like to make on a letter that I received. On May the 2nd, 2013, I received a letter from 4 council members requesting that I immediately revoke any authority or directive which has been given to Porter Elliott in dealing with the DREAM Initiative. First, I'd like to say Porter Elliott did this request on the DREAM Initiative on his own, not by any directive from the city of Louisiana. Secondly, when did the 4 councilmen meet and decide city issues? I believe that's a violation of the Sunshine Law 610-010. Next, all 4 councilmen had to meet and sign this request.
No.
That's my assumption of how I got it.
That's okay.
For the council to send a request to the city, it should be approved by the majority of the councilmen.
It wasn't from the council, was it? It was from
No,
4
it's
council members?
4 councilmen, but if a request comes to the city, the request should be brought to this here table. The council and its majority should vote on it. 4 councilmen have no authority
That's fine.
whatsoever to make a request.
Did we assume authority in that letter to you?
No, but it says we
Yes.
are requesting.
That's because there's 4 of us. We is the plural.
I understand that.
We request. We didn't assume
Yes.
authority.
And without the majority of the council elected approving this letter, it holds no legality to a
No.
request.
Well, it's a request. It has no authority.
Right, and I hope in the future that if you all want something and get rid of somebody, that you bring it to a full council in open session and be men and women enough to let your concerns.
What was that comment?
That concern.
I'm not a
is-
man because I wrote that request?
No, what I'm saying to you is, this is backdoor taxis as far as I'm concerned.
It was not intended that way.
Well, that's the way I would perceive it. And I hope it doesn't happen in the future.
Well, I hope that requests from individual citizens or councilmen are received with an open ear and a willing concern to address any issues presented in the future.
Okay, now we will go to the appointments.
This is a list, I was just wondering if
Okay, my recommendation, you all got copies of them?
Yes, and I received it, my wife picked it up today, and I would have liked to have had it long before this.
I understand that. But I talked to these people, I asked them, it's my appointments.
I realize
And-
that, but I think I need to know who these people are. I don't know who in the world, I'd have asked who Ronnie Bryant was.
I
She never
imagine there's
introduced
a lot of
herself to
people
me.
in town you don't know, Chuck.
That's right.
That's why we need additional
That's why we
time.
They're
need
not
to have
you,
time.
I'm gonna say this to you again. The mayor makes the appointments, you got one or two things you can do. You either approve the appointments or you disapprove. That's what you've got.
Are you making a motion?
No, I'm entertaining a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the appointments.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
When it comes to,
We don't even know which page he's
I'm
discussing.
talking about the recommendation on the committees.
Okay, I would like to read
I have a
from...
second from,
Second.
you can do that in discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. I bring this
Is
following
this,
term up.
are you talking about this whole front page here then?
What?
The library board?
we excuse
Yes, everybody.
I am, but with the exception of the appointment of Tim Turco.
You're gonna
And then I'm
abstain.
staying.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question. I know two Ron Myers. One lives on Peacock, the other lives out in the country. I talked to one Ron Myers today here in Sioux
Which one's
Falls.
he
He
looking
lives
at?
in the country.
I
I'm
have
sure
no
you're
idea.
talking about.
I'm talking about Ron Myers in the audience right now.
Okay, I knew you was, but I
Can-
wanted to make that clear.
Point of order.
Yeah,
We're talking about the Board of Appeals, Board of Adjustment, that page? That's
that
what we're
page,
talking.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that the vote that you want to make, when I asked MML about dealing with slates of candidates, their response was that that would be inappropriate to have anything but a yay, a nay, or an abstain. So you can't, for instance, on a motion, say yes, except for this one person.
Okay.
What we would need to do, and what I would request,
get
is that we would
Individual.
we would retreat all of these nominations tonight individually so that things like,
That just happened. That just happened.
what just happened?
Mrs. Smith
Abstained.
abstained. She voted for two, abstained from one.
Right, but the motion was for a slate, not individuals, correct? Or did I misunderstand the motion?
No, that did happen. But
Yeah,
you
it did.
could just take the one individual that he mentioned and have that as a separate motion, and then the other ones as a slate.
They have to be segregated as individual motions, and my understanding was that the way it was
But that wasn't
presented.
long ago.
So-
Correct, and it
so-
should have been.
So
Well,
what,
it's the
so
same
what
thing
Mr.
you
Rapp
got
is
agree.
saying.
now.
what
I
Mis-
agree.
What Mr. Rapp is saying is
So do
to,
we, can I finish what I'm starting here, Kathy? Did we back up and redo that then?
I don't know how you remedy that. It occurred to me when she said it.
Huh?
It's over.
I think it was incorrect to do that.
Of course it was. If this is incorrect, that
Mhm.
definitely was. It's the same situation.
I agree. It's why I think that appointments like this probably ought to just routinely be made individually, not in
Well, I
mass.
don't have a problem doing what he said. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that this had
Mhm.
already happened.
Yeah,
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor.
And I wish
to read section 405.280, which refers to the Historic Preservation Commission.
No, wait till we get to that.
I thought we were doing the whole thing here.
Okay, you are gonna do the whole thing? Okay, then go ahead.
Well,
I don't know what,
I don't know what the motion is that's on the
The
table
motion
anymore.
is that to approve the slate of officers that are the committee people that I had appointed. It was seconded.
On this sheet that says mayor's recommendations for appointment.
Right.
Can we retract that motion and do them individually? Jim, would you? Who made the motion?
Jim
Jim
made,
made the motion,
Jim
Mr.
made
White
the motion
seconded.
and it was seconded by Larry, and you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, that's what
You
that's
don't.
why I asked the question.
be fine.
You'd retract
Do you retract
yours.
your second? He retracts his first and we do them individually. If you want to.
If you want to.
I'd rather get it done. We're gonna get it done anyway.
But
Yeah,
you
but-
have a problem with,
No, you don't. That's
Yes.
your opinion.
Well, I agree with his opinion.
Both of
So now
you
it's
would,
just
because
our
both
opinions.
of you actually used to serve on the HPC.
that's right. And it's
And
covered
it
by
says all
ordinance.
they have to be is a citizen of Louisiana.
Right, but it also says all commission members must have demonstrated interest, competence, and knowledge of historic preservation.
And I believe they have.
Okay. For instance, one of the reasons we would like to have these early is so that we can try to understand what that interest is.
That's what I'm telling you. Now, you're quoting MML. I talked to MML, and they also said as long as the statute and the ordinance says the mayor appoints, and the council can do one of three things: vote yea, nay, or abstain.
Okay.
And that's what I'm calling for now, is calling for the
We,
vote.
and we have a motion on the do we have a motion on the table?
Yes.
I thought are you pulling yours off or are you gonna do the whole slate?
Oh, yeah, now I said, let's just get it done.
So you want to do the whole
Yes.
slate, including Tim Turco?
No,
Then
exception.
you can't, then you can't.
So you want to make a motion for everything except for Tim Turco?
Except for Tim Turco.
Okay,
You're
We just
abstaining on
established
Turco.
Right.
so it has to be
It's
under a
vote.
separate
I'm
motion.
abstaining.
So it has to be a separate motion.
No, he's
No.
He made the
No.
He's abstaining on Turco. He's doing the same thing Kathy did.
I agree, and what Kathy did, I believe, was improper. We should have stopped it
They're
then.
ruling on that, but right now you got a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
No. I have a motion,
He has a motion on the floor.
and I can make
You
I
can't
can make a
two
motion.
motions. No, not two motions at once.
In discussion, I can introduce a new motion.
No. No, you can't.
We've got to satisfy this motion before.
That's correct, before any other motion is made. Motion made and second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott? Mr. Hoffman?
No.
Mr. Meager?
No.
Mr. Poise?
No.
Mrs. Smith?
No.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes,
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Tally. 4-4.
Yeah.
I'd go with the yeas.
I'd like to make a motion.
We're in appointments right now,
It concerns appointments.
not the appointments we have on the agenda.
Yes,
This is for-
specifically the appointments we have on the agenda.
Well, I'm not gonna allow you to make the motion. Because we're in.
Is that legal, Mr. Rapp? That I can be denied making a motion as a city council person?
Especially when we're into already on the,
This concerns exactly the topic at hand.
doesn't matter.
Objectively, it needs to matter.
You can put your objective in writing.
I have, it's right here. But I'm just a citizen, so I'm not sure if I can give that to you.
We're gonna go on with the agenda of appointments.
This is important.
The mayor is the presiding officer, but you are a councilman. So if you feel you have a right as a councilman, it's up to you to exercise it.
Well, I make a motion. I'm not sure where that puts us. I believe Tom gave us some fantastic advice at the meeting on the, I guess when was this, the May 13th full council meeting, when he said, when I was bringing up the digital communication stuff, he said, quote, "I think that you bring out something like that, what you should do if you got a lot of new stuff you want to make, I'm going to go like you did on the budget, give them some time to look it over before you try and say, let's make a motion and pass it without giving it some thought." And I said, I think that's absolutely a reasonable thing. A few minutes later, I said, I request, and you and I discussed this, and it sounded like you and I were amicable on the same page, that on appointments, you give the council ample time to consider who these nominees are. Discussion was had about what ample time means. Tom said, quote, "I would say that a week is ample time." I said, "I think that is absolutely wonderful. If we have those names a week in advance, I think that gives us an opportunity to think about and give the consideration that is due. Had I not had taken the mayor at his words, I would have introduced an ordinance establishing a policy requiring 48 hours advance notice. It was prepared and in my folder. I have it here. But here we are considering motions on topics far more serious than best business practice for digital communication, and we're not being extended to sound judgment or thoughtful consideration. Therefore, I move that consideration of all appointments be postponed at least 1 week hence, as agreed in the May meeting, in order to give the thoughtful consideration due to the topic and deserved by the people of Louisiana." That's my
Make your
motion. I did.
Okay, so do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Motion made, second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
No.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Needner?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Nay.
Mr. White?
No?
Mr. Wood?
No.
And I go with the nays. Motion denied. Going on to appointments.
And could you clarify, I'm sorry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Appointments for June 2013 to May 2014. I'm going on to administration.
Are we doing these separately?
You pass it to the second page.
Yeah, I got it.
You got yours on.
You got the third page, this is the second page. It's on the.
I got the third page, I'm sorry. That's on Robert Jana, city clerk, city treasurer, Mike Leslie, Kelly Henry, Robert Rapp, Robert Adams, Wiley Harrison, Bruce McGuire, Joe Branham, and let's see, I was just looking on here.
Christina Boyd,
Christina Boyd,
And
make
Renee.
sure, huh?
And Renee.
Renee Johnson.
Yeah, Renee Johnson and, yeah, I got Christine Boyd.
That's everything.
Okay, they're there. All right. You want to go by one?
I would like to make a motion to do one by one.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yeah.
Mr. Hoffman?
This is on a motion for
One
Bob.
by one.
Yeah, one.
Okay, well,
Yes.
Mr. Needner?
no.
Mr. Polis?
No.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes?
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. First one, Robert Jenna, city administrator. I'd like to appoint him for 1 year.
That's what we're voting on. So
No.
they just asked.
No, we're doing one by one.
We've got to be clear on stating
That's
these
what I
these
said.
She
motions.
did
I
say
did.
Yeah,
that
because I was curious as to why you two voted.
Yeah. So,
at the salary of 78 for 1 year. Robert Jenna, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we reappoint.
Are these all one-year appointments?
Second.
yes.
Okay, motion made and second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Abstain.
Mr. Needner?
No.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Jennett passed. Sharon Kokor, city clerk. I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Sharon,
Second.
Mrs. Kokor, excuse me.
Motion made and second. Call
I'm
the
sorry,
roll.
just seconded.
I did.
Sal.
Sal did. Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. Renee Johnson, city treasurer. I'll entertain.
I make a motion we reappoint Renee.
Motion made, seconded by Larry. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. The next one is Mike Leslie, fire chief.
I make a motion we reappoint Mike Leslie as fire
Second.
chief.
Motion made and seconded. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Abstain.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. Mike Leslie, EMA director. I entertain a motion. Emergency preparedness.
Make a
Yeah.
motion.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Woods, second by Mr. White. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Abstain.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. Kelly Henry, fire truck driver.
I make a motion, we appoint Kelly Henry, fire truck driver.
Do I have a second? Second by Jim Woods. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Okay. Robert Rapp, city attorney.
I make a motion we reappoint Robert Rapp.
Do I have a second by Mr. White? Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Abstain.
Mr. Neener?
No.
Mr. Polis?
No.
Mrs. Smith?
No.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay, it's 4-3. Okay. Mr. Rapp was reappointed.
No. Yeah,
One abstained.
two noes, I'm sorry.
4.
Yeah, three noes, four.
Yeah.
3 noes, 4 yeses.
Robert Adams, code enforcement. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we reappoint Robert Adams, code enforcement officer.
Second.
Motion made and second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay, Wiley Harrison, code enforcement. I entertain a
I
motion.
make a motion, we reappoint Wiley Harrison, code enforcement officer.
Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Wood. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay. Bruce McGuire, judge.
Make a motion, we reappoint Bruce McGuire, judge.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Mr. Needner. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis? Mrs.
Yes.
Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Joe Branham, prosecutor.
I'll make a motion to, to reappoint, sorry, Joe Brandon as prosecutor.
Okay, do I have
And
a
I
second?
second.
Second by Mr. Woods. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Christine Boyd, city collector.
I move that we appoint her.
Second.
Okay, second. Motion made by Chuck, second by Kathy. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neighbors?
Yes.
Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna make. On Rich Hughes, I would have to excuse myself
Or
on
you
that
can
one,
get the police officer before you
but
do.
I'm gonna do the police officer before I go.
Can I make a point of order for a question while you're here, actually? Am I able to do that again?
Why?
On the 2-year appointment for Chief Hughes, why is that not a 1-year appointment when Bob Jennings became a 1-year appointment?
Because in the state statute, it says that he can be, when it was an elected position, it was 2 years, and the state statute said it can be 2 to 4. And last year, we went to the 2-year, but it could be 4, but
It could be a 4-year appointment.
yes, sir,
Mhm.
absolutely,
The mayor and the chief of police can be 4.
yeah. Okay, let's.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, on the police officers. Lauren Jackman.
We're gonna do them one
Are we
at a
doing
time.
one at a
You
time
still
or
want
a
to stay
slate?
with that, or do you
Nah.
want? Okay.
I
All right,
don't.
They said that you
That's
want-
just my opinion.
Okay. All right, let's, we'll do the police officers.
First,
You all got a list? Do you have any thoughts?
I'll make a motion that we approve the mayor's recommendations for the police officers for
second.
commission.
Yeah, I second.
Okay.
And
motion
and
made.
auxiliary too.
Yeah, the
That's
whole
it.
slate.
That's the whole page.
I second.
The whole page, okay, not just police officers,
The whole
Motion was
page.
made
animal
by
control and,
Kathy and second by Sal. Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neighbors?
Yes.
Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Now, with that being done, I have to excuse myself from the next vote, and I will leave the building, and you can come forward and get me when it's ready to resume.
You be the one with a cigar in your mouth?
And for the audience, the reason I'm leaving is Chief Hughes is my niece's husband, which makes me an elder.
The gavel goes to the mayor pro tem.
Mr. Stevens, can I just go from here or should I have to come up there?
Yeah, I think that's.
You call that shot.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're the presiding officer.
So try to see that.
I'll just do it from right here. And it's my recommendation to the mayor and to the council that we reappoint Richard Hughes, chief of police, for a minimum of 2 years.
I will second that.
I'll make the motion.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I can't make that motion.
Okay, well, sit down then. I second it.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neighbors?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
I don't believe in 2-year terms, and that is the only reason I have to vote no. I did the same thing last time.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Appointments passed. Would someone bring Tom back in, please?
Why?
This is what I think. Yes, it says resident of the city. It says all commission members must have an administrative interest, competence, and knowledge of historic
I guess so. I guess you didn't expect it to go as fast as it did.
I do.
Mr. Rapp.
I do, but where, I'm not sure.
It's in there somewhere.
Did you wind up with my minutes from the, oh, here, no, here, I got it.
On streets and houses, take up the need to state equipment request for the citizens from the city website.
Yep.
Streets and alleys.
I think because the things that were on there were in street and alley
Okay, I have a letter
issues.
from the Chamber of Commerce of Louisiana addressed to the mayor and council. The Louisiana Chamber of Commerce is once again planning a committee-wide Independence Day celebration on July 4th. As you are aware, this is the largest public fireworks display in Pike County, Missouri for this holiday and is attended by not only citizens of our fair town, but travelers from all around. A small dedicated group of volunteers are assembling to create a kids carnival style attraction in addition to fireworks display. So we are requesting the use of the full Riverfront Park area this year. This will not be a traditional carnival with large rides, and there will be no modifications to pavement, etc. But we would request the bleachers be transported and barricades be provided to block off the area, not including any of the ramp or dock area. Trailerman Trailers Express, the free children's train ride, is also participating again this year. Last year, orange fencing was installed by the street department to cordon off the area for that. It worked out well, and if the fencing could be installed in a similar manner this year, we would appreciate it. We do realize that there's no controlling the possibility of flooding and have every intention to full cooperation or coordination and cooperation with the city of Louisiana in the event that this celebration cannot be held at the riverfront due to those circumstances. Thank you for your assistance and cooperation. And it's signed Mona Brown and Tina Chitster.
What is the definition or whatever of the full Riverfront Park area?
Same as last year.
Just like where they have the
Gazebo,
farmer's
gazebo.
market.
Gazebo.
Including the parking areas
No,
south of
no,
the
it's
ramp
That
or just?
excluded that.
No, it said nothing boat ramp, nothing parking area over
Okay,
there.
okay.
I'll make a motion, we allow the chamber to use the riverfront for the 4th of July celebration.
I'll second that.
Second by Larry White. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neal?
As president of the chamber, I will abstain.
Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, committee report. Finance. Zach, you're up.
Called the meeting to order at 5:30 PM with Mr. Nieder, myself, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Wood present, also present Mr. Jenny, Mayor Wallace, Mr. Rapp, and Ms. Johnson. I made a motion to approve minutes of the May 13, 2013 meeting, seconded by Mr. Stevens, all voting yay. I made a motion to bring before the council pay warrant number 45 through 52 for 2013 in the amount of $225,913.70, seconded by Mr. Nieder, all voting yay. I make a motion to pay those warrants.
Second.
Motion made and second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neither?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Jenny stated that the distribution utility truck was put out for bids and Bowling Green Chevrolet's bid was the lowest at $31,500. This will come out of the distribution's large truck and equipment line item in the budget. I make a motion to pay that vehicle to Chevrolet.
Seconded.
Motion made and second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neither?
Yes.
Mr. Polis?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
I also made I made a motion to bring to full council purchasing the utility truck from Bowling Green Chevrolet in the amount of $31,500, seconded by Mr. Wood. All voting yay. Ms. Sharon,
That's it now.
Ms. Sharon stated that we have received as a bill from Klinger and Associates in the amount of $10,167.26 to be submitted to DNR. I make a motion to pay that full amount.
Second.
Motion made and double second. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Rapp suggested that a meeting be set up between Mr. Mudd, Mr. Jenny, Mayor Wallace, Ms. Johnson, and myself to discuss the issues with the budget. I made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Stevens, all voting yea. Meeting adjourned at 5:39.
You have anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Neener, five.
Fire committee met on June 3rd. Corey Anderson had resigned. The committee recommended a motion that I now make to hire Skylar Pitzer pending a background check and physical. So that's a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Chuck? Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Police.
Okay, we met on June 3rd and approved the minutes of our May meeting. We stated that Mr. William Harrison would be a new police officer and he would be starting on June the 4th. Many of you may have noticed him here earlier. He was on duty as you came into this building tonight.
So,
Introduce him.
Rich wants to introduce him.
Yeah.
He's here tonight specifically to introduce William Harrison, our new officer, and give you an opportunity to welcome to our city and our department.
Welcome.
Welcome.
That's all I have, Tom.
Okay, thank you. Streets and alleys. We met on June the 3rd, and minutes were read and approved. It said Mr. Neener stated he put the request from the citizen to use on the city website. There are many options to follow up after the work is completed. And that's all I got. Okay, thank you. Buildings and grounds.
The minutes were approved. There was discussion on the Hodges building. Mr. Jenny stated that an RFQ for an engineer may need to be done for an opinion on saving the building versus demolition. We met down there today, some of us. Have you found out anything about an engineer? We're going to try to get bids.
I was waiting to get the consensus of the council as to which direction to move in.
Does the council want to the engineer's recommendation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how to bring that about now, but I would love to vote on it now.
Make a motion.
I'd make a motion for us to look for an engineer, or Bob to find an engineer to give us a bid on what that would take structurally. We don't really, I don't think we need plans
To make a report
to make a report.
as to whether they feel it can be
Safe.
rehabilitated
Absolutely.
or if it needs to be
As
demolished.
efficient as
And-
possible.
When I've done that in the past and requested such reports without plans, just a general statement about the kinds of work that would need
Right.
to be done to secure that
To
building.
address the deficiencies in the building. And if you have that type of format, I would.
I don't have a
appreciate you
format, but I'd be
providing
glad to write it for you if you, or
Yeah,
a draft if
you
you'd
have it,
like.
That would be great.
Sal,
Sure.
did
Yes,
you
sir.
make a
Yes, sir, I
motion?
did. I made a motion.
I second the motion. Motion was made and seconded.
Where were we going to pay for this engineering study from? which
No, we're just
account?
asking, we're just asking for a report, not a study.
Well, it'll be
Well,
it'll be for free.
It won't be free.
Yeah, it'll probably be anywhere from guesstimation 500 to $1,500.
Do we have building improvement fund, don't we?
Yeah,
There you go.
there is.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
This is kind of your expertise, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I've done things like this before professionally.
I just wondered if
You
you'd be
couldn't do
interested.
this?
No, I don't want to do it. I would
think it would be
hire,
a conflict in.
it would be a
The
conflict.
question I was going to ask
I'm sorry.
you is, would you be interested in maybe being with that engineer?
Certainly, I'd love the opportunity to discuss it with the
I have no
engineer.
qualms with that whatsoever.
Motion made and seconded. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Neener?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yay?
Mr. Wood?
Yay.
On that same vein, if I may, Mr. White, maybe we should look at possibly getting an estimate on replacing that roof too.
That's kind of putting,
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I know,
but-
I'm just putting it out there. I didn't make a motion or anything, I'm
Yeah,
just
I-
putting it out there.
Yeah, I think it was, we have the structural engineer there, we'd ask him.
That would be a part of his response,
Okay.
would be to suggest that.
Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Mrs. Smith stated that the parking lots at the baseball field and the city hall are in bad shape. Mr. Hoffman stated that the LHPA is not interested in the fence behind the firehouse due to safety issues. A bid was received previously with Mr. Blaylock, and he would remove the fence. Did he call you today, Bob?
yes, he did.
Okay.
He said he would be in tomorrow to pay for it and
Whoa, 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 that
Subsequently-
motion was voted down. When they made a motion to sell that to him, that motion,
Then you need to
Yeah,
make
it was
another
defeated.
That motion was voted down, but then they brought it back when.
Yeah.
but no motion was made.
No,
So you need to
Chuck said at the time, he said that HPC wasn't interested in it. And somebody at the meeting said, well, if we had a bid on it, so why not accept the bid, but we had rejected.
It was that,
But we did not vote on it.
I agree, we need a motion and a vote.
You can make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we allow Mr. Blaylock to purchase the fencing,
I'll second it.
for,
The original.
the original $151.
Do we have any more discussion? Sure.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
second.
Oh.
Larry.
seconded.
Okay.
I know where we can sell it for a little more money than that.
It's too, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
See, we've
we've,
already put the price of what he offered
Yeah.
in, it said it would be.
Well, it's substantially more. I didn't tell them what the price was.
I don't think we can go that route.
The land of the deal.
Yeah. Okay, motion made, second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
No.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Yeager?
Yes.
Mr. Powers?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
No. Okay. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, that's all I have. I think Sal's on the ball
I have-
part with working, getting that all worked out, the fence.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Well, I was just telling Mayor Wallace actually as well. It'll probably be within 2 weeks that we can get some information that I'll get into all of your mailboxes as well. And then hopefully we can talk about it in committee and then to council by next month. For the ballpark.
I have Tom, I have a question, I'm not sure if it'd be appropriate here under new business, but problem properties in Ward 3. We met, actually you joined, Larry contacted me, we drove around, you joined us, and I'd like to address that. I'm not on Buildings and Grounds Committee, so I don't know what the process is to,
It's proper and when.
Right now?
Rick, yes.
okay, then I'd like to discuss the problem properties in Ward 3. I am spending a fortune on ink, so I did not print this out for everyone, but I will pass these 3 pieces around. I guess, have you guys seen them?
I've seen that, that's fine.
Yes.
Give it to them.
These are 3 properties in Ward 3 that it helps if you go to like the second page where you really see the pictures. You'll recognize them probably if you've been driving around town. You can see them apparently from satellites and readily identify them. So I think we need to get a plan together in how to deal with this or understand what the challenge is that's keeping us from being able to deal with this. So if the city council needs to modify an ordinance, change an ordinance, if we need to form a committee, whatever, dance and sacrifice a chicken, whatever it is we have to do, we need to figure that out so we can solve this problem.
Bart, I believe I told you once before, we used to have a dangerous building commission, or committee, and they did quite well. But it was abolished
Been a
in
while, long time ago.
205 or somewhere along there.
I don't know.
Anyway, they functioned well on derelict houses and people that were not in compliance. Now, I'm gonna have Mr. Adams address what he's done today.
Wonderful. Do you know the Burst properties generally? I don't know how else to reference them.
Mr. Burst, he received citations 3 months ago. He was in court last Thursday, and the judge asked him whether he wanted to plead guilty or have a trial. He said that he would not plead guilty, so he is set for trial on 7/11/13, July the 11th,
And
after trial.
for clarification, Kent,
Yes, sir.
of the 3 properties, does he own all 3?
No, sir. That
No.
is, yeah.
Therein
Work that
lies
out.
the issue.
2 of the properties are owned by family members.
Right.
One family member is unreachable.
Well, he's incarcerated, right? So I don't know what to, and it's marked on there.
So I'd like to ask Mr. Rapp, if I might. Mr. Rapp, is not the person that's incarcerated his stuff that is making this health issue?
Who's the caretaker of the property?
So,
You are.
This is a case that's pending before the court.
yeah,
Okay, I would,
Well, not this one, actually. It's the only one before the court is the one that he actually owns.
Yes,
That's
sir.
715 Jackson.
He's on the clock to clean up the others, but when that time expires, then he'll get citations for them.
So this is a question regarding one that is not pending litigation.
so
And
it's
the
his
question-
stuff on somebody else's property. So who's liable for it, is what I'm asking.
Joe Brannon has to prove who has ownership or control.
Okay,
Of the property or
Well,
the stuff on the property?
this is a prosecution under the nuisance.
All both.
All both?
Yeah, there's all kinds of, I mean, just,
It's been
when
a
I
rat-
went through this, there's tons of
It's a
violations.
rat's, it's a rat's nest, it has been,
And legal,
and the people up there
Unbelief.
had to suffer with that. And for 3 years, Ms. Crop's been on my back to get something done down there. I keep sending Mr. Adams up there, or Bob sending Mr. Adams up there. We've ticketed, and he's been to court, I don't know how many times. And I don't know what the next step is.
So that's the
That is the
core,
step.
that is the core of my
that's the
question.
step.
yeah, well, that would be.
What can we do to
That
escalate
would
this?
be, that would fall back on Mr. Rapp
What kind of
to
time?
research that, to see how we go about dealing with it.
What do other
Even-
cities do? This is
even
not
if-
unique to Louisiana. There is a solution.
Other cities have the same. This problem is not just unique to Louisiana.
I'm sure somebody somewhere has solved this problem.
I think the route to go is the condemnation process.
There is some language in our, let me find it real quick. There's some language after remand and hearing, once it goes through the court process and you stay on it, that gives you right of entry and the ability, it appears to me when I read this, that the city at that point can go in and fix this itself on that private property.
Fix it or tear it down.
Fix it or tear it down. And that is in, let's see, this section, and one of these sections that I've got here, I think it's 220.010 nuisance affecting health. But,
Health and welfare.
so my question is, you know, does that require money? Is that why we're not doing that?
No,
Does it
it is-
require
we need
brave
to-
people? What?
Well, to begin, first process you have to start, initiate, is to identify who the appropriate person is to address, given the fact that this man is incarcerated and he owns 2 of the 3 properties.
But we
So who
know
is-
who they are.
Who is defined and how you're gonna go about finding out who is defined as the legal owner or the caretaker of the property is going to be difficult at best.
But we have the legal owner. We got, it's on those
Who's
sheets. We got it
incarcerated.
Yeah.
in that one case. On the other 2 cases, they're not incarcerated.
But one person owns the other 2 places?
No, 2 other people.
Larry, it's your committee.
Yeah, on this piece of property, I see 1, 2, 3 vehicles on there. They have titles and registration someplace on them. They have ID numbers that you could find the ownership by going off the license on them.
That isn't gonna necessarily give you ownership of the
No.
property.
Because anybody can park something there.
Yeah.
Well, it tells you whose car it is, it tells you whose travel trailer it is, off the serial numbers.
Well, but
It seems
what
to
we're trying
me,
to figure out is who's liable
To clean up
That's
the
the
mess.
question, to clean up the mess.
Yeah, that's all.
Until we establish that, then.
In preparation for past tickets and stuff, I have copies of the warranty deeds of each property, and I know who the property owners
Right.
are. Just like Mr. Nieder said, the gentleman that's, the problem, whatever the problem is, he only owns one of the three pieces. Another piece of property is owned by another gentleman. There's three pieces of property, there's three property owners.
Yeah.
There's only one gentleman junking up all three of them.
right,
That's where it stands.
Okay.
so,
And so he is going to trial for one of them.
I just have one
That's,
thought.
that's all I have.
well,
But no, I have a thought I'd like to say here. Mark said that we could go in and fix the problem.
that,
In other words. we
it's
would-
kind of a question,
Only
because
after
that's what I'm
it's
seeing here.
adjudicated.
Right, after it's
Yeah,
adjudicated.
let me know then. We could go in there and clean that up. 2 years later, you got the same mess.
Yep,
Do we assume that property once we go in there and do that?
I didn't see anything in here that indicated that.
have to
You
be-
go in there and clean it up, and 2 years
You
later,
clean
you're
it
gonna have
up,
the
and
same.
probably it provides that the cleanup cost can be a lien on the real estate, which you can't collect, and, yeah, it's-
So, so my
But then we can maybe
question,
get on top of it, I'm sorry.
well, my question is, I recognize there's issues. Maybe we need a work study, maybe we need an opinion from a lawyer, maybe we need to do some research, whatever it is, we need to pursue this. It's been ongoing, it's a real problem.
it's not gonna get resolved tonight.
It's not gonna get resolved tonight, but I want to have an action step. If we just drop it without any course of action, we haven't done anything.
Yeah, let me say this, let me give Mr. Rapp the job of telling us how to proceed legally.
Thank you.
And then he'll come back with a report, and then that's the step that he will recommend that we take.
And maybe if we can find out some kind of realistic timeline.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be expedited, but realistic would be nice
Yeah,
to
well, I
get.
think just like Sally and them's waited long enough, I think that as fast as we can get it now, the better, so.
But I could say that just generally, you have a code enforcement officer who's writing tickets, so it goes to court. You have a city prosecuting attorney who's prosecuting it, and you have a city judge who's, I guess, resolving it. Something set for trial on the 11th. I mean, that system has to take its course.
But Mayor Wallace said that it's been to trial how many times already in the past 3 years, right?
I don't know how many times it, Kent,
The property that he's going to trial on in July, he was in court last year with. He got it cleaned up last April. And
The year before
he came
that.
into compliance last April. I've got pictures of his property last April, and in November, it was.
So he
it
was
full.
forced to clean it up.
Yeah, he cleaned it
And
up,
then it just-
and then just junked it back up. I hate to say
Well,
it.
he don't get completely cleaned up.
Sure.
I'm gonna, while we're on this here, I'm gonna allow Sally to say her piece.
I think if any of y'all will go up there and look at that land, well, none of y'all in this room will look at next to your house. Well, none of y'all want to live like that. There's rats, snakes, possums, whatever you want is coming out of there. I got grandkids up there. That is, to me, is a health hazard that nobody in this room will want to live next to. So why should I have to live next to something like that?
Sally, we just got you
And
to
this has
say.
been going on for a long time, and what he is doing too is going up from the Star Hill, getting junk off of Star Hill, bringing it back down, putting it in his land, and the city letting him do it.
We stopped that.
Did you stop it?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he's got carpet land on city property on the creek bank, and that's a snake hazard.
How long ago was it that he was doing that? Was going to Star Hill and bringing the properties?
Oh, that film's going for about a year.
He's been doing that way back when.
And he'll go to a sale and won't get, and pay for
Okay.
one object.
Thank you, Sally, we're gonna work on it. Okay, Larry?
That's all I have.
Okay. Water Committee.
I don't have much. We approved the minutes, and Bob is working on getting that grant for the engineering study for our tank out in the industrial park, and he gave us a short scenario about our wastewater plant, and then we discussed that notice that they sent out.
Yeah.
And unless somebody else got something.
Okay. Kathy,
We called the grant committee to order and approved the minutes from the May meeting. Contracts for the scrap tire grant has been sent back in and has no response, nothing yet. The MLB is still pending.
And I gave a copy of that to Sal, and
Okay. And the demolition grant is complete and is
we have a closeout meeting on the 13th.
on the 13th. Okay, that's all I have.
thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Ordinance Committee.
The ordinance committee met on June 3rd, all members in attendance. The minutes of the previous meetings were approved, and no ordinances were brought forward.
Correct. Thank you. Special committees. Bob, do you have anything?
No, sir, I think everything I touched on
Human
is getting
relations.
covered.
Human Relations. Board of Adjustment.
Your board got one item pending. We're going to take care of that later. Pretty soon.
Thank you. New business, Bart. Did you have any?
Are we skipping a resolution?
Oh, I'm sorry, resolutions. I'm sorry, I skipped it, I didn't have it. We don't have it.
Did we not indicate we were going to do a
They're not
resolution?
here, neither one.
Neither
Okay,
here.
but
They are completed.
the resolutions are,
Both have
okay.
been drafted and
That's
completed.
good to know, okay.
Well,
Excellent.
neither,
Sure, absolutely. Have we've reached out to them to try to get them here at the next
we
meeting?
did, and what we'll do is we'll take it for next month.
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, Jim Wood.
Is there any, has anybody made any decisions on what they're gonna do with Convoy's land, where the Convoy building was yet?
Yeah, that's forthcoming. Everything's been drafted, and I'll put a copy. Robert has drafted not only that, but for where the old caboose was. So that will be, we'll bring that in to, would have liked to get it accomplished this month, but things just didn't work out.
Okay.
So it'll be brought before committee next month and hopefully approved and taken care of next month.
Okay, it's all drawn up to that. Okay. Media clarification.
Yeah. First is a comment, not a question. I have trouble hearing Monroe Elliott. I don't know if there's something that can be done, but I rarely
We'll
ever hear.
extend the cord so.
Let me answer that. I have requested, see his cord?
Yeah.
I'm old, I can't bend.
Well.
Needs a cord extension.
I said I didn't know if there's anything that can be done. I just
They'll answer for me.
saying try to lean forward.
I'm not gonna be a contortionist to work that thing. And I've been on the council for over 2 years, and in 2 years I've been requesting a longer cord. So you'll just have to bring your microphone up here again.
You should have chimed in with the budget talks more, Monroe. You should have chimed in more with the budget talks.
I can talk loud if I have to, but I normally don't.
The fence that was sold, what fence was that?
It's a decorative wrought iron fence that's in the back of the firehouse.
And who was it sold to?
Vern Blaylock.
Who?
Vernon Blaylock.
And then there was when the mayor said that there was a letter sent to him, which council members were signed on that letter? You said there were 4 council members?
3 of them there and 1 over here.
Bart.
Councilman Niegner, Councilwoman Smith, Councilman Hollis, and Councilman Hoffman.
And actually, to clarify on that, we were not all 4 together. I was
No.
actually in Lincoln, Illinois the whole time. So.
And then what is Porter's role with the DREAM initiative?
Apparently none.
whatsoever. None.
And what was the request in the letter?
That if we give them any authority or directive to do anything on the part of the city, that we withdraw it immediately.
And then on the appointments, the Tim Turco bit, was it the intent, since it was voted as a slate, was it still the intention, is it the understanding that Jim's, he abstained on
Yeah,
that?
Tim is a relation to.
I understand that, I'm just, that's how it got recorded, right? That's all I have.
Mr. Burse, who's going to court, who's Burse, B-R...
B-U-R-S-E.
What's his first name?
Ben
Ben
Junior.
Burse.
Junior. You don't get the wrong one.
Yeah. Do not confuse with senior, please.
On the vote for the chief, I believe it was Ms. Smith was the only no. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Because I don't believe in 2-year
Right.
terms. Yeah.
Okay, just to make sure I had it down. The lady who came before for the street fundraiser for Leo, what does Leo stand for?
Louisiana Evangelical Organization.
Outreach.
Outreach. And who was that?
Lois Turner.
That was Lois Turner. Okay. Now, and just to go back again, from what April was asking, this letter from the short council people asked that any authority given to Mr. Elliott be revoked.
Withdrawn.
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 Withdrawn and vote authority to what?
I'd be glad to address it.
To
as
represent
one of
the
others.
city in reference to the DREAM initiative.
To their correspondence.
Okay.
If either of the media would like to discuss that further,
Yeah.
I'd be glad to provide the copy of the letter and discuss it.
That'd be nice.
Anything else?
I think that's it, thank you.
Leon, you've been holding your hand up for about...
Yeah, I have a question. Will I be out of order if I ask Mr. Rapp a question?
Yes.
On this, is it all right? On this letter that you received, Mr. Mayor, about from these 4 people. Now, I've heard a lot of crap about this, or talk about this sunshine law in the last 2 years. I've become very acquainted with it. Mr. Rapp, is this a violation of the sunshine law, or is it not?
I don't know what happened, but there is this, there's a case that talks about surreptitious meetings that you, the council or parts of the council can't meet in secret and plot, plan, and decide what they're going to do, and then come out in a public meeting and rubber stamp what's been decided in private. That would violate the surreptitious part of the sunshine law. And if anyone questions whether or not the council violates the sunshine law, they can make an inquiry to my office and I'll conduct an investigation. They're free to contact the Sunshine Law Division of the Attorney General's office and have them do an investigation or file suit in circuit court alleging violations.
Thank you, Mr. Rapp.
The forms you need are on my website.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, to adjourn, call roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
You need these back.
Actually, honestly, they probably should go to Sharon. You got copies? Sure. Yeah.
on that first property,
Yes, sir.
you might want to look under police infractions. That's the second. I've been a long time in the register.
I would love your help on that, Porter. I would love your help on that. Let me, hold on just one second. Hold on just one second here, Sharon. These are the sections that I pulled out. If you've got an idea about how to proceed with this, I would love to have your cooperation and help.
Eminent domain, let's look at that.
Let's look at it. Why don't you look at what I highlighted and let me know if you think I'm off base. Yeah, that's all you.
That's up to them.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Porter.
Eminent domain looks to me like that might be the best answer.
If you can do it, yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. I haven't got researched into eminent domain too much.
I would love your opinion on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I got that stuff you wanted.
Which?
All them stories I told you.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to have that.
So